It's on! Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to, I froze, and I don't mean with tech either. Welcome to another edition of Disney Parks Talk Live, the weekly show every Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific, where we talk about the week in Disney theme parks, and we actually expand out a little bit and talk about things other than Disney theme parks, too, as we will today. Anyway, my name is Doobie Mosley. I'm the co-founder of Laughing Place, co-host of this show, along with my wifey over there. That would be Rebecca Mosley.
Hey, everybody.
Down there in the bottom corner, we have the vice president in charge of saying what is and is not good about the people running Lucasfilm, Mike Celestino. All right, Mike. Mike is not hearing us. Mike, can you hear us?
I'm guessing no.
He may be able to hear us, but his response is going to be 3 minutes from now, it looks like.
All right. Someone want to private chat Mike and tell him that we've been talking to him and apparently he can't hear us? And below me is the vice president in charge of... See, I had yours ready, and then I did Mike's, and then I got all messed up. Are you there? Are you there, Mike?
Nope.
No. Below me, we have the vice president. What was it? Shoot. Vice president in charge of emergency room visits. That would be Jeremiah Good.
That's a little scary, but yeah.
I was going to say, thankfully he means that in the nicest way possible, right?
I do. We're going to get to that story later. But first up, as always, we are live here today. We'd like for you to be a part of the conversation, because if we just wanted to talk to each other, we would not be streaming it, because we do that all day long. So please use those comments to be part of the conversation, or just say hello. Anyway, we are going to get started with what happened this morning. Josh D'Amaro. Let's see if Mike is ready. Michael, can you hear me? Mike, can you hear me? All right.
I don't even see him.
You don't see him?
No.
Do you see him, Rebecca?
Yep, but he's not moving. He's just frozen there.
No, he just blinked his eyes.
I saw him blink.
Mike, can you hear me? Mike would really like you to come to the show on time.
He's there now, but
Can you hear? Say hello.
Yeah, I think I'm good now. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Okay. So you missed my wonderful introduction for you.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like when I first launched StreamYard, it struggled.
Okay, let's get that again. And down there, finally joining us, we have the vice president in charge of deciding what is and is not good about who runs Lucasfilm, Mike Celestino.
Hello. Good
Is that
to
a fair
meet you.
introduction today? Okay,
That's fair.
I didn't know you just put up this. It's an opinion so harsh that we have to make opinion the first word of the headline.
That was my choice, and I ran it by the CAO first before I put it up.
Opinions are good. There's no problem with that. We're allowed to have opinions.
Okay.
I'm anxious to read it. I just heard about it, so I haven't read it yet. But that headline has me revving to go.
Kyle, can you see him on YouTube though?
He said he's there now. Oh, shut up. All right, let's get started with Josh D'Amaro, the person in charge of Disney Parks Experience and Products, who had a presentation this morning with JP Morgan on their tech, JP Morgan, and at a conference, and gave a few. It was like tech. It was JP Morgan. We had a few tidbits coming out of that we'll talk about. We did a full live blog on that. You can check out on our website. Also broke out a couple of articles with some of the more interesting things he said. But we'll just go through some of the... Well, I'll start with you, Rebecca. Was there anything in particular that he said that you read about that you wanted to make sure we brought up?
Well, okay. So I think the big things that came out of it to me were that even though the Lake Nona project is done, that we're still going to see the $17 billion over the next 10 years invested in Walt Disney World. So I'm guessing the Beyond Big Thunder that was hyped at the expo. I know that jumped out at me. Jeremiah, you mentioned an element that had jumped out to you that I hadn't even really noticed at the time.
Yeah, and I think this could be, hopefully this is both Disneyland and Walt Disney World. It's the, hey, we're going to work on making things easier on the tech side, aka, Lightning Lane. I believe in his statement he talked about Lightning Lane, individual Lightning Lane, park planning, everything. And, we went from essentially 4 years ago, you had to worry about FastPass Plus, and waking up 3 months in advance to try to get that one reservation, or contacting Mouse Fan Travel, our recommended travel agent, to wake up early in the morning and make your reservation. To now, where you have to be on your phone more than be on a ride now.
And he said that they're going to look at relaxing some of the reservation dynamics. So maybe that was a good I guess both a confirmation that we're not going to see that totally go away, but that perhaps we will see it be massaged and fit better with the ways that it's being actually utilized by locals or annual pass holders or that type of thing. So
and some of that they've already announced for Walt Disney World, some of the relaxing of the park reservation system. Jeremiah?
I really wouldn't mind if on the next call he goes, yeah, we or Lightning Lane and Genie Plus didn't work out exactly like we wanted it to, aka Star Wars.
Well, so the way he put it kind of scared me. He's like, it felt like we know it's kind of confusing to plan a trip and everything, so we're going to try to use tech to make it simpler. Disney does not have a great track record.
I was going to say that's one of the kind of, for me, laugh quotes out of this was DeMauro saying that we're going to be synchronizing our data better or something along those lines. And I'm like, I feel like you've been promising me this since I got my first hard annual pass wasn't just a picture of me. That over the years I've constantly heard how my experiences at the Disney store and what I watch online and what I look at on Disney.com would be somehow integrated into my Disney vacation, and it still hasn't come to fruition. And that was 25 years ago.
We talked about that on the morning show this morning, how Netflix will give me suggestions based on what I've watched before. Disney Plus not only knows what I've watched before, they know what theme park rides I go on. They know where I shop. They know what sports I like because of ESPN. They know so much more about me. They know what I watch on Hulu. And they give me nothing. I go to DisneyPlus.com and the banner I get at the top is the exact same banner that everyone else gets at the top.
If you go down 4, it's the because you watch this. Trust me, I've been getting all those.
I know it is. I know it is. But it should be more than because you watch this. It should be, I know so much about you, Doobie Mosley, that this is what you need to be seeing. And send me an email and let me know.
I'm gonna go even more disturbing. There are certain fast food restaurants that I kind of have a general tendency to frequent on certain days of the week. Pick Gideon up from this and we'll stop by on the way home. If I don't go, I get a push alert reminding me of how tasty their food is. Hey, don't forget, there's this place that you usually eat at that you didn't go to on Thursday like you often do. And I can't think of ever getting like when things drop at Disney Plus, or ESPN or whatever. I don't feel like I get that same kind of, push reminder. Right. Hey, don't forget, you've been watching Mysterious Benedict Society and you haven't watched episode 4 yet. What's up? What happened?
They send like a generic one, like the new Mandalorian's out, but I really don't think they do it based on what I'm watching.
I actually just got I'm trying to find the email. And it was Disney Plus, and it was based off of, hey, because you watched, I'm going through all the live action classic.
An example to me is Doobie and I were each night watching a new episode of Muppet Mayhem, and then we skipped a couple of nights. And I'm a little bit surprised that there isn't yet a thing that would annoy you and be like, hey, you stopped watching Muppet Mayhem. You should continue the fun. Remember how much fun it was? Check out the next episode. You opt in for it. You say, I want notifications.
Of course.
I'm not, and I opt in for the fast food notifications because I like to get coupons.
And it should be a fun, I think a lot of people would perceive it as a fun thing. If I went to the park, they know what I do at the park. At least a lot of what I do at the park. If I went to the park and I went to see Muppet Vision and then I came home and the next alert I got from Disney Plus was continue the Muppet fun with blah, blah, blah. I think people would see that as a fun thing, not an intrusive thing. Like, how cool is that? So, anyway.
I kind of see the other side of, we don't need Big Brother all that much.
And yes, you have to allow them to opt out. Yes. People, not everyone is as black helicopter as you, Jeremiah. Okay. Okay. Some of us
Hey,
know that when we say something, we're going to see ads for it on Facebook, and that's just part of life.
my aluminum foil hat is underneath my bed.
All right. Anyway, so that's the tech is going to solve all our problems. Maybe he'll put Chat GPT on it, and we'll see where that leads. He talked about how so far all the political shenanigans he said have not had any impact on their bottom line at Disney parks, experience, and resorts. How there's plenty of space to expand beyond the berm at Disneyland and Magic Kingdom. I guess at Disneyland it's the whole Disneyland Forward thing. He said Disney expects to accelerate depreciation on the Star Cruiser by $200 to $300 million, which just gives us some idea of how much money they put into that project. Wow. And my favorite factoid, 40% of Disney cruise guests said they would not have cruised if Disney Cruise Line didn't exist.
I was one of them. I remember saying that
I'm
the
there
survey
also.
I got.
Oh, that's a great idea. Kyle has a great idea. They could have fun bonus videos that you unlock by visiting the attraction. They did that with the Toy Story movie.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
much they could do. So much they could do.
I love that. Do you even get like a push alert on the behind the attraction when you're on tower?
No. And there's when you walk off tower, keep all the theming fine, but once you're walking off, how about a little check out behind the scenes on Disney
No,
Plus?
I want it on my phone because I want to have to opt in.
Fair enough. And he also said no plans to build small parks around the United States like Universal is in the process of doing. They're going to keep their money on the big destinations that they've been working on. So.
Otherwise, they could end up with something like what happened when we got off the Disney Cruise Line, where Mandalorian dropped while we were on the cruise, but they don't have Disney Plus on the cruise, and they furthered my pain by having these enormous banners as we're leaving the cruise all about Disney Plus. And I'm like, yeah, okay, but I was just on the cruise. I couldn't even watch Mandalorian.
What percentage of people don't have Disney Plus? All right. Anything else on Josh before we move on to some other news?
There's 2 or 3 articles on Laughing Place. I want to say 3.
There's the live blog and 2 more.
There's a live blog giving you little synopsis of everything that you said throughout the event. And then there's also 2 additional articles kind of taking the key points from it and making pieces around those so that you can see those as well. So if you want to get a feel for kind of what we got out of Josh's comments this morning, take a look at those.
So last Thursday was a rough day for Disney fans with the closing of the Star Cruiser, which we will get to soon, Mike, as well as the Disney Plus stuff. We finding out some details on what's going to be dropped from Disney Plus.
That changes daily.
The official closure of the Lake Nona project, which could be good or bad news depending on your point of view. But on Friday morning we did our morning show, and Ethan, our weatherman, said, "Man, with a Thursday like that, I wonder what the Friday night dump is going to be." Well, we got one, and it was not fun. And that is that Fantasmic at Disneyland will be closed through Labor Day.
Through Labor Day.
A surprise, though.
Oh, it is. It was a surprise to me. They skipped 2 months.
Remember when Fantasmic used to be down for a year?
This was first they announced it was going to be closed until mid-May, and then they said to the end of May, and then they just skipped June, July, August, and went straight to Labor Day. That's big news. It's big news. Even if you thought it was going to be the case, it's big news, Jeremiah. We're not all Jeremiah. Sorry. They also go ahead.
I just think that having one of the largest set pieces of any set show pretty much burned to a skeleton is kind of we're not coming back too quickly from this.
They have a way of running the show without the dragon. I've seen the show without the dragon, so this is more than just we have to fix the dragon. In fact, they seem to imply they're going to bring it back in some other way, like maybe the dragon won't even be there when they bring it back.
Like the wings on the stick like they used to be.
Which I think is so much better. I know I'm in the mass majority on that. I'm in minority. I'm like, nobody thinks that but me. But it left so much more to the imagination. It was this enormous dragon coming out. And then it was like, you just see a part of it. And the rest of it was kind of hidden to you. So I think.
They did say they're going to be bringing some additional entertainment into the parks to kind of make up for it. And so someone actually tagged us in a tweet looking at a Disneyland map from June of 1996. This was like prime Doobie and Rebecca going to Disneyland time. Was this prime Jeremiah or Mike going to Disneyland time?
It was definitely prime me going, because that was the summer after Indy opened.
Yes. So here is what the entertainment schedule would have been like on that
Billy
weekend.
Hill,
Lion King
Akin
celebration,
Stock.
Lion King celebration daytime parade, Main Street Electrical Parade at night, Fantasy in the Sky fireworks, The Hunchback of Notre Dame over in the festival arena, Spirit of Pocahontas at the Fantasyland Theater, Phantasmic at night, Billy Hill and the Hillbillies, Red and the Red Hots doing some big band stuff along with the dancing, Voyager and Midwest Coast doing cover songs at Tomorrowland Terrace. That's where Jeremiah was. Sword in the Stone ceremony. That's what entertainment used to be like.
And that's not even everything, because that's not even the New Orleans bands that would perform.
Not
Rod
on the
Miller, who was
piano.
there
Yeah.
until close, Wednesdays through Sundays. Yeah,
No,
what a time. Oh, and the band.
So there is lots of room to add some stuff at Disneyland Entertainment to help make up for the lack of Phantasmic. One of the things they are going to be doing is Black Music Month starts in June, so they're going to have entertainment at Downtown Disney every night. Disney California Adventure, they're going to have entertainment on the Hollywood Pictures backlot stage. They're going to have a DJ and other entertainment in the Grand Californian Hotel. And they are also going to have special food, of course, instead of something I really want to get for my mom, barbecue hot link sandwich and some merchandise signing at Wonderland Gallery. So that can give us a
They're having
little
a
bit of
DJ at the Grand.
You know, that's what it said, Jeremiah.
I'm
If I'm
guessing
wrong,
it must
Kyle.
be out on the back lawn.
Yes, over by the pool. Over by the pool.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that electric violinist that would perform in Downtown Disney?
Mm-hmm.
Was that before your time, Mike? Before you were hitting that Downtown Disney frequently?
Don't recall an electric violinist.
Do you remember the violinist that used to perform at Tomorrowland Terrace, all 6 of them, called Barrage, Rebecca?
Of course.
I know you remember Barrage. Hey, Becky, how you doing? I hear, if I read your Facebook memory right, you're actually at home. Is that the case, Becky? I
For
know
like
that's
6 hours, I think.
such a rarity. But if you are, welcome home and enjoy it while you can. You're probably on your way to the airport.
Becky, was it as a pyro fan you enjoyed the Dragon on Fire, or you
No,
enjoyed
stop.
the Dragon?
Oh, Jeremiah, that's
Pyro.
too soon. Too soon. Becky, by the way, is the owner of Mouse Fan Travel, our preferred travel partner. We highly recommend you use Mouse Fan Travel. Don't ask for Becky; she's busy. But all the other agents are pretty awesome. She's never home.
Phaedra is an amazing agent.
We use Heather. We like Heather. Rich Ostry is always in our chats here,
Oh,
so I gotta recommend Rich.
And his Facebook always makes me so envious. I want to travel more whenever his Facebook pops up in my feed.
So we love Mouse Fan Travel. We recommend them without hesitation.
Yeah, I don't know what that was either.
Yeah, sounded like the
Is there like somebody vacuuming near you, Doobie?
Harwood. I like.
that must have been it.
I mean, I got a freeway out there, like it's not exactly right behind me. But
Yeah, that's
out
true.
there. Excuse me. All right. One maleficent taketh away, another maleficent cometh.
Woohoo! Yeah, she stopped breathing fire for a little while, and then she was back. This parade, I realized the other day, I was looking, and this parade is on its 9th year now. Time for a new parade. Like, I love the show, but after being at Disneyland and seeing Magic Happens and then all the stuff from Disneyland Paris, this parade needs some new life. We can keep the float, we can still make that do something, but the fire doesn't make us a great parade.
I am really interested to see how the missing Phantasmic and Splash are going to impact Disneyland crowds and attraction lines and stuff, because that's a Phantasmic would eat up quite a substantial number of people.
I always heard like it could hold 10,000 people a show, which is just an insane amount of people when the park has maybe 60,000, 70,000 people in it. So and at that time of night even less, because people do go home, I hear.
Yeah, and without Phantasmic, I think it'll be a better time in the evening. As somebody who has a lifetime scar of the crowds of Phantasmic,
That's
I
true.
look
People go.
forward
But
to
that
one
was
night.
also, but that was prime time to hit some of those attractions because
Yeah, it works both ways.
into it. So It'll be fun to see how it impacts your attack plan.
So I have a question for Mike Celestino. This is Mike Celestino over there. He's our Star Wars guy. So last Thursday we were doing a live stream talking about the Lake Nona thing, and then we brought you on and immediately hit you with the news that Star Cruiser was closing to get your live reaction. Were you upset with us for doing that to you?
No, I think we should do that kind of thing more often.
Yes, that's what I want to hear.
If
That's what
you
I
would have
want
come
to
to
hear.
me, my phone was blowing up, and I was talking to 6 different people about what was happening, and that was not a fun day for me on this side.
He got an earful. He got an earful from his wife, saying, "Hey, maybe you shouldn't have done that to Celestino." So I'm glad to know you're all for it.
I wish I had recordings of most of the times I've gotten bad news in my life.
Okay, good to know. I will remember that.
The C in Mike C stands for cheerful. That's
But no matter what, you have the highlight of your life, other than your marriage, on YouTube and on Facebook and Instagram and everything. Of it's snowing.
Can I just want to say, Mike, the podcast that you and your friends at Heroes of the Halcyon did was incredible. And if people haven't seen it, please go check out Who's the Boss. The Halcyon was on my to-do list for once I was back over, on that side of the coast. And so it's, not going to happen now. But hearing your reaction and their reaction as people who actually lived it and got to do it was really that insight was so cool. And to just know what it meant to you and what you guys kind of, I felt like I have a much better understanding of why it's sad it's going, what did it accomplish.
Yeah, we got really lucky actually that day. I mean, lucky in an unlucky kind of way, but it was just like a weird convergence of events that I didn't have a show because Alex Rife was my guest, and he was unfortunately not feeling well. And then the news broke, and I was just like, well, let me see if they were available, and they happened to be. So yeah, weird. I've noticed that podcast has performed well, but it doesn't happen that often that I get to do an entire episode about that week's like breaking news,
So let me come back to you in just a moment, Mike. The Star Cruiser will be closing. They announced it on Thursday that it's closing. The final voyage will be the September 28th through September 30th voyage. Guests who had voyages after that have been being given priority opportunity to move their voyage before they then reopen it to new people to buy those voyages. So if you want to book a Star Tours and you weren't already booked, you will get the chance on May 26th. They will reopen the bookings and you can do it. It looks like a lot of the discounting that had been in effect isn't anymore. All right, Mike Celestino, this is most definitely your territory. I'm just going to let you want to talk about your experience on the Star Cruiser, your feelings, your podcast, whatever you want.
Oh yeah, no, I think we're going to look back on this as a crazy experiment that was never really destined to last, but I'm glad that it happened. It was certainly memorable for me that I got to visit one, I got to go for the full experience, and then before that I got to see it as like a media preview. But I'm a big fan of immersive theater. I'm a big fan of Star Wars, obviously, and it's the marriage of those two things that it's unlikely that we'll see something on that scale again unless they really pour money into Galaxy's Edge, turning that into more of the immersive type thing that we were expecting it to be. But yeah, it's a very special thing that only existed for this brief amount of time, and I'm so glad that I got to participate and do it. I think I did it the way that it was intended to be done, or at least demonstrated what could be done if you really committed to it 100%. So hope that everybody who wanted to experience, I mean, obviously you said, Rebecca, that you're not going to get a chance to go, but hopefully most of the people who really wanted to do it got the chance to do it.
And for those of you who haven't stopped by yet, here on this channel, you can find a playlist called Antiquities. And that is a series of short films that Mike and Jeremiah crafted from Mike's adventure aboard the Star Cruiser as a character, that he created a backstory and a whole, just a person within that Star Wars universe. And then he took all of that and brought it with him to the Star Cruiser. Jeremiah was his documentarian, and the cast would interact with him, and they did homework. They like knew what a bit of Mike's story. They were aware that this Lotico existed, and they interacted with him to an extent with his bio, and then obviously also inspired by what exchanges they had on board ship. And just such an incredible notion that as a fan, Mike was able to live a fanfic. I mean, I suspect he has written them. I know I wrote them as a youngster. And so the idea that, now you get to kind of do this, it was so cool.
It's easy to forget. I often forget that Jeremiah was there too, because he was doing all the documenting. But Jeremiah, your Galactic Star Cruiser goodbye thoughts while we just enjoy Lotico Findon here.
This was, so pulling back the curtain a lot, one of my good friends actually had just signed a contract to be on the cast of the Star Cruiser like that week. So this is how real and sudden this is. Like he found out minutes before it went live. He was in rehearsal at that point.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, not only is it's really sad because it was, even like, like you guys said, you forgot I was there because I was doing most of what you're watching right now. There are moments, especially listening to the soundtrack that was just released, those hit hard for, I'm sure, Mike also, because they were special moments on it. It was, kind of like going away to summer camp where you're at the end and you're kind of like sad because everything you just experienced, you may never get to do again. And that's how this was. I was fielding a lot of questions that day from people. And one of the things that I was actually just having a conversation about is what's going to happen to that location. And there is nothing that can be done with that location. It cannot be a hotel because there are no windows, there are no pools, there's no nothing. It can't be transformed into some other property because why would Disney take the chance on investing in a property that is less popular than the most popular thing around the world, Star Wars? It'll be interesting to see what happens with that. Is it just going to get torn down? Is it going to sit there empty for a while? They have too many challenges to try to do something again with it, unless it is they decide to revisit this idea sometime in the future. But I don't see that happening in at least the next few years. So
I think that was the most surprising thing for us as like Disney fans, is that oh, hey, Becky coming in and saying she wants to debate that with you. But
come on, Becky.
Bring her on. Come on, Becky. You need the link. Got it.
I think for us as kind of people who have been following the Disney company for so long, I think we are surprised that it kind of went from 100 to 0. I think we expected to see, okay, well, it's no longer a 48-hour or a multi-day trip. It's now a single trip, or you can rent it out for X event, or I think we anticipated seeing them try all sorts of different tweaks with it if this initial rollout wasn't meeting expectations. And so for it to just be like, okay, well, we went all in and it didn't meet what we're doing, and so now we're shutting it down, and with no hint of the future, is just so, I mean, it hurts, and it feels similar to, and I don't mean emotionally, because people are happy to see Harmonious go, people were happy to see Light Magic go, but they like didn't just go, they go and we watched them get dismantled. And there's like this weird feeling with this, that it feels kind of similar to me. Not like I say emotionally, because those people were happy to see go, but just as far as the finality of it not being there is so weird.
I got to watch Pleasure Island and My Beloved Adventures Club be torn down. So I had okay, this can never happen again. This is something that every time I drive by it, I'm going to know exactly where that building is. I'm going to see everything that's there. And it's very hard, and one of the things that we also have to think about, and everybody that's put up the funny memes and everything, that was full cast. That, it's much like a show closing. These are cast members that put their heart and soul into this, and they got notified just like we did of, hey, you're closing. It's always sad for us as the fans, but imagine putting your life into it, and then one day you're, hey, this is going to be great, we're going to go for a while, and next day, nope, as of October 1st, along with most other shows, you're cut.
And I do want to make it clear. I mean, believe me, I understand the emotional hit that is, and I'm not diminishing that. But Disney has said that those cast members do still have jobs with the company. They're not out of work, at least.
Yeah,
Worth.
The hotel people and the actual cast members, the entertainment and those people that are contracted, those contracts will, as normal, end on October 1st. And I say that because just like with the Adventures Club, it ended just at the end of the fiscal year. So I had to sit there and watch that also go, okay, it's over. But
and the timing hurts for people like I think specifically of Mike, who are in that creative world, because you not only saw this, which was a creative project that is being shut suddenly, but you also have all these titles being announced as disappearing from Disney Plus, which is not something that we've been seeing previously. These weren't behaviors of Disney that we're accustomed to.
But Mike's happy to see Willow leave.
So can I ask Mike a question? I mean, I know this isn't directly theme park, but how often do I get a chance to talk on the air to Mike? Because he never has me on his show. Your thoughts on...
You've been on the show more than most people.
Your thoughts on Disney Plus dropping a bunch of shows that are only available on Disney Plus, and the possibility that they can never ever be seen again.
Yeah.
Does this bother you in the least?
Well, both these news items dropped the same day, and I was expecting one of them, and not expecting, but the Star Cruiser news didn't surprise me as much as the Disney Plus news, because, like I said, Star Cruiser existed. People, by and large, got to go and do it if they were really passionate about it. It's not, it's been well documented. You can rewatch my adventures. You can rewatch other people's experiences on YouTube. That's not going to go away. It is an in-person thing that's hard to replicate in a lot of ways, but I get it. I get it with Star Cruiser. With the content that's on Disney Plus, it's going away. And as far as we know, after Friday, there's no legal way to access any of this stuff. That to me feels, I think the word I used in my opinion piece was crass. And I still feel like that's accurate. Like, oh, well, it doesn't matter because Disney's going to write it off in their taxes or whatever, not going to have to pay their royalties to people involved. And if it's just coming down to that, it just feels like this isn't what I expect from Disney. I would rather them, and to me, it's really just about making it available elsewhere. Like, it doesn't bother me. I get it. They're paying more than it's worth to keep it on Disney Plus, and that's affecting their bottom line. But why not just say, okay, we're going to shift this over, and it's going to become like you have to pay to download it, or you can buy it on Blu-ray or whatever. Like, make it available somewhere. That, I think, as long as it's possible for fans to have access to this stuff, it would not bother me nearly as much, because TV shows have been canceled since the beginning of TV. That's not a surprise either. But the fact that it's just not going to be accessible by any means except to steal it, literally to steal it, like that,
which you really can't off of Disney Plus. There's I had a friend who was asking about this, and this is not condoned by Laughing Place at all, but it is very difficult to try to get this stuff anyplace else or off of Disney Plus.
But
I'm sure
yeah. Okay.
Can I piggyback off of that? In that, when they were first announcing and hyping Disney Plus, the framework of it being, well, this we're finally going to be able to like open those vault doors wide open. It felt like this is going to be the place that we can put all that stuff that isn't really that valuable, that it doesn't make any sense to put in places like ABC or Disney Channel or whatnot. This is where all our, you know, our little things that we know that some of you want to see, but overall isn't huge moneymaker. That's where it's going to reside. That's going to be its safe place. And then for that to just all of a sudden, like, I feel like the rug's been ripped out from underneath us as the consumer, as far as like just the messaging change that to me this foretells.
There's a great book to be written about the streaming boom and bust that happened over the last 4 years or whatever.
And
yeah, go ahead.
I feel like I have a good understanding of the financial reasons why they feel they had to do this. And yet, I wonder if they are underestimating how much it's going to have a negative impact with their fans, and that will hurt their image. I don't know that they are, and I know they have some really good financial reasons for doing it, not only this year, but looking forward. But they are going to take a hit with their fans as a result.
Not only the fans, but the creatives who are the backbone of this company. If I were somebody looking to work with a major studio and I saw Warner Brothers has removed a bunch of stuff from HBO Max, not available anymore anywhere, and Disney's doing the same now, I would shop around to other places where it's not a possibility. I would want some kind of guarantee that this stuff isn't just going to disappear into the ether. It's very scary.
So
even John Stamos says I call BS. John Stamos.
So I know we are all looking at it as Disney Plus is taking stuff away. Really, the stuff that they're taking away, most of it I had never watched. The stuff that I had watched was okay, and I gave up by the second season of Mysterious Benedict, Mighty Ducks. You know, some of those were very difficult, and you could tell the first season was Disney putting the money into it, and the second season was them going, okay, we just have to continue this and make the money somehow. I mean, one of the things that we're also, I think, like Mike said, the past 4 years are streaming minds. Remember, before streaming, we didn't have access to most of the movies. You couldn't get half the movies that are still on Disney Plus.
It's so true. No, hey, when I was a kid, you watched it live, or you may never see it again. That's not the world we're living in, Jeremiah. Disney told us this is the home for everything you love. Shut up. This is the home for everything you love about this company. This is what they sold. I'm telling you, I will mute you. This is what they sold me when they created Disney Plus. And they created these originals, and some of them were brilliant, like Mandalorian, and some of them were just simple movies, like Timmy Failure, which I loved, and will disappear now, and I will never, ever again see in my life, which I wouldn't have anyway.
Maybe.
But at least I had the option.
Yeah. Maybe. We don't truly know for sure yet what this means, but
I am not
it's a possibility
that Disney Plus did not lie to us, because I am still
I wouldn't say lie, Jeremiah. Now you're going too far.
Vault Disney stuff that was supposed to be on there early on, because as you guys may have seen, I'm trying to go back and watch those early live action films, and there's really only 6 or 7 of them on there. Like, you can't find some of the old movies that I would have to go, not even Disney, the Disney DVD Club, that you can still go and order those. So hopefully some of these things will end up on there, because they put out movies on DVD and Blu-ray that you can't find anyplace, even on Disney Plus.
And this is what's really interesting to me, is there's this entire market now of films that were not that well received when they came out, but because of syndication, because of all sorts of other, not necessarily hocus pocus, but there are so many things but I don't think it's popular because of syndication. Do you think it's popular because of cable?
Yeah, Benji says Freeform playing it all the time.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's all these things, and I feel like somewhere in the midst of what's getting disappeared right now is the next, type of thing, and it's kind of sad.
Nothing's allowed to be a cult hit anymore. It's really sad.
Well, I mean, in 10 years, when they don't have to pay the rights anymore, they'll get put back on. Like, what's the horrible Disney Channel special, Oogie Boogie or
Mr. Boogity?
I
Yeah.
won't have you
Boogity.
talking anything about Mr. Boogity. That's
Yeah, no,
fantastic.
there is
exactly
no
because
negativity.
you loved it because it was on the Disney Channel and it was bad, and it is bad. It has become a
Oh,
cult.
it is bad. It is.
Oh,
And
it's
It is
bad.
That's why
objectively
in
bad.
10 years this stuff could
It is
reappear.
cherished. It
Bad and
doesn't-
cherished. Yeah.
See,
But
here's
then I
what
was able to record it on my VCR.
Thank
you
you.
know?
It's
Which
so
I can't
weird.
And that's true. That's true.
That's what's so strange is we all grew up in an era where, yeah, we knew stuff could disappear, but we had a way of preserving it if it mattered to
Well,
us.
At
If it
some point in
mattered
our
to-
life, we're a
like-
little older than that, Rebecca.
But no, but I have ridiculous videotapes of Dodger games because I never thought that ESPN would be replaying 1988 Dodger games 25 years later,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
or more.
Yeah.
And I have them on VHS because I wanted to be able to see them again. But I can't do that with Disney Plus.
No,
And yet
you
it can
can't.
disappear. It's so bizarre.
And as Nikki B says, we have the right, Jeremiah, to watch bad. Even more importantly, let me rephrase this. We have the right to not watch bad shows, but know they're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Howard, when they removed, not that Howard's a bad show, they had initially announced they were going to remove Howard the documentary, and I was going to watch that this week, but then they rescinded that, and I am going to go right back to not watching it and just
Howard
having it on
is
a list
not
that I
a
never get
bad
to.
show at all. That's
I
an
said it's
amazing
not.
documentary.
I
Like,
have a
that-
good comparison. There's a show on Netflix called Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance or something.
Oh, yeah.
This is based on a movie that I loved growing up called Dark Crystal from Jim Henson Company. This TV series is targeted exactly at me, and yet I have not watched the whole thing. I think it's amazingly well made. It just hasn't grabbed my interest in the way that it probably should. I've seen like 6 out of the 10 episodes, but every year, like once a year, I go back and watch another episode of the show, and I'm like, this is really, really good. I should finish this, and then I don't. But if they take it away, that option is removed from me. You know, like
How
come on.
dare they? Right.
And without warning, because none of these lists are finalized, right? All of these lists that are leaking out, they're leaking out.
They're
Disney's
leaking.
not really confirming. Disney's not going, hey, you can't go to Disney Plus and see your last chance to watch this.
Right.
Breaking news: Disney Plus just bought Netflix. They're going to send out the DVDs of the bad shows that you guys
The
want to watch.
red box, we're going to get those red envelopes back.
All right. We could rant about Disney Plus all day long, and I think we actually did all weekend long. But let's get to some quality entertainment that Mike Celestino got to experience.
Oh my God.
What
Talk
is
about
this,
things
Mike?
that made me sad. We got a press release about this, guys. A press release. This is the booth for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania at the LA County Fair. You could go and take your photos with some oversized props. There you go, a loaf of bread, a Rubik's Cube, and a earbud.
Hey, Doobie, if somebody says a loaf of bread, do you immediately follow it up with,
A jug of wine?
no, a loaf of bread,
A jug of
ginger
wine?
milk, and a stick of butter?
No, that's not where I go.
Okay, go
The
The
ahead.
good thing
Also-
about it
That,
was
wait, isn't that Sesame Street?
Yes.
I never watched Sesame Street.
Oh,
What is
anytime
up with
anybody
the-
says a loaf of bread, I instantly follow
A
it up
jug
with
of
ginger
wine.
milk and a stick of butter.
And you, Jeremiah.
I want to know what was up with the purple on the Rubik's Cube. Did they not pay the copyright for Rubik's Cube?
Oh, that's funny.
It does not look purple on my screen here, so.
wait, go back now. I want to see.
Oh my goodness.
I don't remember.
It looks blue on mine, Jeremiah.
Yeah, I got blue.
Yeah,
No,
I got
the
a
blue,
scan.
but what's the center sticker?
Blue.
Blue.
It's also blue.
Oh,
Okay,
blue. This
then
is
what
on
is
you,
it?
Jeremiah. All right, we're going to move on from the color of the Rubik's Cube and let Mike
Okay.
continue to talk about this event.
So
You
it was
wouldn't
in
lose that
promotion.
AirPod, though.
What's that?
I said you wouldn't lose that AirPod.
Yeah. This is in promotion of the home media release for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. You could spin a wheel and win. So we got a series of mini posters, and we actually won the Blu-ray, which was
There you go.
know,
Now you can't complain about it being removed.
exactly. I'm super glad to own it because it could
He's gonna
disappear at
hug it.
any moment, and I'll never get to see that.
That's
No,
what
I
those
enjoy
initials
them.
were.
This is the side of the tent. They did have the standees of the characters and the logo on the tent. And that's about it.
Apparently, they have fresh Mexican seafood nearby.
Oh,
this is-
Kyle, did you make a spin that wheel video there?
Oh, I totally. How did I not think of doing that? I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You're my hero, Mike.
So this comedian named Vic Berger started this trend of whenever you see one of these photo ops with the hole for your face to go in, instead of putting your face in it, you just stand next to it. It's a very anti-comedy type comedy that I love, and now I do it whenever I see one of those.
I love it.
Well, Mike, at some point, and that wasn't on the schedule initially, but at some point you talked about, we were talking about Disney quality entertainment, so we had to bring that up. All right, let's get back to actual quality. This Friday.
That from Disney Plus already.
I couldn't. I wish I had a camera on Benji's face when he saw the tent that he paid for my ticket to go to the LA County Fair and my parking to go and take photos.
Wait! Breaking news! Ben paid for parking.
That's a first.
Whoa.
I'm sure he figured something out. He didn't actually pay for parking.
Okay, what color is that?
Blue.
No, not the back, the center.
By the way,
like
a message just popped up.
Oh, that's white.
Have you really just been quiet this whole time so you could find
blue.
that Rubik's Cube?
No, that center
I'm
and then
very
the bottom
jealous.
two.
I'm
I
very
think they're
jealous
just,
of
it's
this
white,
next
but
story,
it's
by the way.
tinted by the tent.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm very jealous of Jeremiah in this next story.
This one?
Yeah.
Mike, too.
Mike too. Oh, I didn't know. I know about what Jeremiah got to do. What's Mike got to do with this?
Oh, no,
I'm going
wait.
on Friday.
Yeah, this is about Friday and the fact that The Little Mermaid from the live-action movie is going to debut the same day the movie comes out on Friday at Disneyland and at Hollywood Studios, Jeremiah?
Yes.
Okay, Hollywood Studios. And so our boys, our Little Mermaid fans, Jeremiah and Mike, are going to be on their respective coast and trying to get some paparazzi photos of Ariel herself and looking forward to checking that out. But I think what Rebecca's jealous of is what you got to do today, also related to The Little Mermaid, Jeremiah.
Yes, Disney's Hollywood Studios. And the funny thing is, I think it was whatever Incredibles 2 came out, which was like 4 or 5 years ago. I did the exact same thing on this day 5 years ago.
Nice.
Walt Disney Presents, trash can photo of the poster, all that. So they, bless you. As always happens, Walt Disney Presents shows the preview for the next upcoming film. This is the live action Little Mermaid. They have some of the props in there that is not the Eric statue, that is just a statue from the grotto. King Triton's conch shell, engagement ring, that's not a lightsaber, that is a telescope.
Spyglass, right?
Spyglass, thank you. And then the Jade Mermaid, which I'm guessing will have some big detail in the movie. I'll find out tomorrow night or Wednesday night. So this is all in the lobby. They actually gave us posters, which the poster looked much more like a record album. It was square, just like the record album, and I thought it was at first. We went in, they had her give the introduction, and then they showed kind of the opening up to Part of Your World, which was amazing. I've avoided spoiling any of this film. I don't want to know how it ends. And I haven't listened to any of the music, but hearing her sing Part of Your World was amazing. Like, her voice is so beautiful. And other than the sidekicks, again, I'm really looking forward, and Ursula, but we'll not get into that conversation again. I'm really looking forward to this film. That is what the poster looks like.
That's so pretty.
So
that's a nice size to receive while you're in a theme park.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what you did with it.
And it was a solid paper. It's not flimsy. So really, it's, kind of you're carrying around a record album size for the rest of the day.
Do we know where in Disneyland Ariel will be meeting?
I think I do. I think I do. I'll let you know after. I'm
Is
pretty
her
sure I
name
have it in my
still
notes
Ariel?
somewhere.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But now it's the added E, like the thing that
No,
she used to get better TV
it's the
reception.
same. Don't listen to him. It's the same.
Really? Did you just talk about rabbit ears and call him Ariel?
I did. I'm old, Jeremiah.
Oh, never mind. Kyle's going to tell you on air. Small World Promenade.
Okay.
I remember when you couldn't VHS a movie, Jeremiah. Well, you watched it or you
You
missed
had to
it.
move
That
your
was
rabbit
it.
ears, your aluminum foil.
Your rabbit
Doobie,
ears.
were you the kid that had to hold it at one point and put the other hand up in the air?
See her stories. You got that right. I had to be the one to hold the rabbit ears.
I'll never forget when our color tube went out, and we were it'd been out for a little while, and we were watching some. I want to say it was on Disney Channel. They had those animal specials, and my mother just finally lost it and said, "My children will not grow up thinking hippos are blue," and just loaded everybody into the car. We drove to the mall and got a new TV.
And then you went on It's a Small World and went, wait, hippos are pink.
Hey, fun fact: Jeremiah's mom did not do that, so he kept seeing purple on Rubik's cubes.
Sorry, it's white.
Even better, I'm pretty sure I sat in the trunk because we had a hatchback. I'm pretty sure station wagon. I'm pretty sure I sat in the back helping hold on to the TV so it wouldn't slide around when we were driving.
Break heart. At any point, Jeremiah, did you think perhaps they could have done this in a different theater that was already themed to the Little Mermaid right next door?
No, there was no way possible that they would try to reformat that film to fit that screen. But I really, especially watching the bit I watched today, if they decide to retheme the Little Mermaid show to the film, that would be amazing. I mean, other than having to hear Aquafina all day, I would enjoy that show.
You know, she's in the early reviews. I know you've stayed spoiler free. She has been the standout. I expected
a lot of positive feedback on her role. Really.
Yeah, I expected it to be the Gilmore Girls late woman whose name I can't remember, Melissa McCarthy. But actually, she's getting good praise. But Aquafina is getting all the praise.
You know, Aquafina is just Scuttle, right? Like,
yes. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you.
But they made Scuttle an aquatic animal, not a seagull in this one, so Scuttle can have a more active role within the film.
No, there's
a lot more Scuttle.
They show Ariel not quite on the surface, but just underneath the surface, with showing Scuttle all the stuff she got from the ship, and there's a joke about Scuttle not knowing whether she should swim or fly. Bless you.
Thank you. All right, let's play a little game with Jeremiah called What's Missing?
Can we zoom in a little bit tighter?
No.
Let me see. Is there a crane? Ta-da! Oh no, the crane is further to the right. Yes, everything is gone except for the support where the gas mains and electric come out. So
it's gone from what?
That would be the World Showcase Lagoon. The harmonious barges are gone. There is no more harmonious, and soon there will be no more harmonious anywhere.
Reportedly, Harmonious Live is also being disappeared from Disney Plus. So if you are interested in seeing Harmonious Live, if you haven't seen it yet, by the way, I think it is an amazing production, Harmonious Live on Disney Plus. Be sure and check that out. Like I say, it's among the titles that are out there as being disappeared later this week.
So I want to check Harmonious Live on Disney Plus right now, live on the air, and see if they are telling us it's going to be disappearing. No.
But it's a really beautiful rendition.
Yeah. No, Harmonious was a beautiful show. People, just like with Light Magic, you can't follow up something that everybody loved because it's been there for so long.
All right, Jeremiah.
It's a good show.
Let's play another game.
Okay.
What's missing?
Water.
Besides the water.
A crane putting Christmas lights on it.
Never. Hey, don't make me cry.
Oh, that's really sad.
The crane is there, but it's mostly, again, just to remove the 50th decorations. It is surprising how much simple decorations changed the castle from just a few months ago to what it looked like when I was there the other day to take those photos. It looks great.
Yay!
Mike, Magic Key Holder Mike, have you been able to use the new feature of Magic Key where you get to modify your reservation instead of canceling and rebooking?
No, but hearing that now for the first time makes me incredibly happy.
I am so glad we could make you happy today, Mike, considering all the other stuff we've dumped on you. Kyle, did we get a gif of Mike seeing that? Or do you not care about good news on the air? You only want bad news.
No, I care about both. Anything that makes my eyebrows go up. I can't tell you how many times. What's that?
Are you trimming those in the year, or is it all hair everywhere?
Those are hidden behind my glasses. I'm okay with those. I can't tell you how many times I've canceled one of my reservations. You only get 6 total, and you got to cancel one and then cross your fingers you're able to get the one that you want. So now, it sounds like that will be easier.
No longer have to do that. You can now just make a new reservation. Over at the Disneyland Hotel, they are creating a new tower for Disney Vacation Club. We are aware of that. And they have a very cool splash pad that they're going to be constructing themed to Steamboat Willie.
I want to play in that.
You want to play in that, Jeremiah?
Yes.
Are you a child?
Mr. Mike has something to say. He's raising his hand so politely.
Oh, sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
I have a question that's semi-related. At the new Mickey's Toontown by Donald's Boat, there is a water play area. Why isn't that open yet? Do we know that?
Mm-mm.
It's when I was there, it's where Donald was meeting. So I would guess probably because of the crowds that have been in that area. The splash pads, as the 2 people above us know, children love to sit there for hours on end and get wet.
So they built it, but they won't be able to use it until the fun over Toontown dies down.
Okay.
Let's check out this splash pad. Rebecca, did we learn the name of that tower that's going up?
Yeah, yes. I'm sure Jeremiah knows it. I've forgotten already.
I'll give you a hint. It is named after one of the lands in Disneyland Paris.
Okay, I can never remember. Does it have a Y or not a Y?
It does not have a Y. It's just discovered.
See? I can remember, is it the Discovery Tower or is it Discover Tower?
I think it's the Discovery Tower. That splash pad looks so cool.
It does look quite fun. I like that people are beginning to realize that a lot of littles don't enjoy the bucket dump. The bucket dump is too intimidating. The splashy stuff is good, but when you get in massive amounts of water, that can be off-putting for littles. So some love it. My nephew, sign him up right away. Gideon and a couple of our other friends, they would no, don't want to go near that big bucket.
Bucket dumps are the most fun. I will stand in a splash pad for minutes until one of those dump.
How about you, Mike? Are you a bucket dump?
I don't mind the bucket dump. We've done that. I like the bucket dump. I want to ask if the use of Steamboat Willie Mickey here is in any way related to the efforts to prevent Steamboat Willie from entering into the public domain, which is happening very soon.
I actually asked our CEO that and didn't get an answer back yet.
Okay.
I was like, I want to know from somebody who pays attention to such things, does this help in arguments somewhere here or there? I'm not really sure.
See, technically, shouldn't...
T-shirt. Bucket dumps are the most fun.
Yes, I'm all for that one. But actually, Mickey's been around for 95 years as of a few days ago. So, because Plain Crazy actually did show up in theaters before Steamboat Willie.
Very true. I saw that on Disney History a few days ago. Jeremiah, there's another DVC tower going up in your neck of the woods. You got some construction. Are these your pictures?
Yep. The ugly tower. Yeah. So this is the Polynesian Disney Vacation Club tower. That, there are few things that I would ever call an eyesore outside of I-4, but this one is definitely It's taller than any of than the Polynesian or the Grand Floridian, so it stands out. I mean, that photo was from the monorail station looking across the Seven Seas Lagoon, and it's a pretty massive hotel. I know that Disney Vacation Club is going more for the Marriott type feel of it's not themed, it's just a hotel that has some theme, but it's massive.
Jeremiah, very excited about that. Glad to see that.
I'm excited that hopefully some of the things that we lost may reemerge in that area. I don't think we're going to see a luau, but until we get more of the theming up right now, it just looks like giant concrete.
But, okay,
towers.
so I was thinking that same thing, Jeremiah, and then and then I'm trying to share a picture with all of you, and it keeps disappearing, and I don't know why. That's so weird. Yeah, I can't share it. It's a concept art of the tower.
Discovery Tower.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking that same thing. Oh, it's just the skeleton. Wait until the theming appears. But then I went and looked up the concept art, and I'm not. Yeah.
No, it very much looks like the Discovery Tower, where it's basic. It's
what do you think? What do you think, Evil Queen, when you see the concept art? So take what you saw as far as the visual of how tall it is and all that, and now kind of think of it completed in this way. What do you think? Does it grab you then? Because I was like,
can you show yours again? This is what I see.
That's it. That's the Jazz Kitchen.
Pretty indistinguishable, which also looks just like the Fort Wilderness Cabin, the new Fort Wilderness Cabin.
No, which looks more like the Environment Resort that got canceled. But...
Yeah. By the way, I'm really not a fan of that, of the change in the name to it. Now it's called Beignet Express.
So, Jeremiah, another question for you. If you were trying to get some pictures of that tower from an unusual angle and tripped and twisted your ankle and had to go to the ER, where would you go?
I would not go to Celebration. I would go to the Advent Health ER at Flamingo Crossings Town Center.
Laughing Place does not endorse or expect people or encourage people to ER shop.
Although I'm pretty sure if Reedy Creek had to take you somewhere for the ER, they'd be taking you this way.
It's a pretty cool looking design. I will admit, when you were talking about it, Jeremiah, you guys did a really thorough look at this new ER that opened over in Flamingo Crossings. For those of you who are unfamiliar, it's on that side over by Animal Kingdom. If you kind of keep going past Animal Kingdom and continue west, then you would be at in the Flamingo Crossing area. Frankly, it's actually along that road by Coronado Springs, but that's
it's outlets. Back where the Disney or not where the college program kids are.
Yep.
The tiny Target, as I'm now going to call it from now on.
It's a tiny Target.
But this, as I said,
brewery. There's a great brewery over there.
I am recording in a CT scanning room for minutes, taking many photos of what in any other hospital or ER is just, a place to go to get your brain scanned or other parts of your body. But
I'm glad they put the effort into the decor of the CT room.
It's beautiful. And then you were talking about some loop. I remember you talking about some loop, Jeremiah. What was it? Was it a video loop, an audio loop? What was it?
Each of the rooms for the patients, Kyle, I will say it, has this massive LED screen that you can put on TV. Mike. But this is also, there are 3 different options. There's the digital mosaic, the level paper, and then whatever the other one, the oil, with music that is so calming. We were just sitting in there relaxed, and we are like, we want this. This would be an amazing thing to fall asleep to.
Have you guys ever seen Soylent Green?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
that's all I'll say.
Yep. When I see that now, I just think that's content they could put on Disney Plus, and we could watch and enjoy like Zenimation, and then they can rip it away. By the way, Zenimation's not on that list, right? I haven't seen that on that list. I hope that doesn't go away. Like I say, I can't remember seeing it on any list. But
are we gonna have are we gonna be live streaming starting at midnight on May 26th, just constantly checking and refreshing to see what's still there and what's gone? I wonder how we are planning on handling that now that I think about it.
Do you know what happens tomorrow? Speaking of streaming and special things, HBO Max is no longer HBO Max.
Right, it just becomes Max because the union sent them, right? Is that how it works? Right. Stole that from Kyle, I will admit. All right, let's get on to a little bit more news. Not a whole lot, but we did get an announcement that some cool stuff is coming to Universal Studios Orlando. Jeremiah, this is your beat. How excited are you?
I swear that we just talked about this, and I remember it was during the morning show. Yes, the Minions Land, Minions Mini Land, as they're calling it, has taken over the entrance of Universal Studios. So Universal Studios is no longer going to be Universal Studios. It's going to be Illumination Studios, and they're going to close everything that is a Universal attraction. Oh, wait, they have done that already. Villains Con, Minion Blast, an attraction that we know very little about, and the press release told us even less about it than we thought we knew. But they're going to have a store. They talk about the store.
And food.
Yes, and food. The former Amazing Monsters Cafe, Universal Monsters Cafe, is becoming Minions Cafe, a cupcake shop, You buy me the hat, Kyle, I will put it on every time I start talking about stuff I don't like. Some amazing looking food. I cannot wait. The cheeseburger or the beef and cheddar burger looks like it's something that's going to clog arteries, but I'm all for doing it once. And yes, I will do that one on camera for you, Doobie.
Thank you.
But stores.
Oh, those banana chips look good.
Yeah. The entire area. I mean, I understand that Minions have been a big thing for 30 years now, and they've about done them to death. So they're just going to keep pushing. This, I swear, was something that was planned for California, and they said, you know what? Let's take it to Florida because people want to buy the little jar. They won't care about the food because that is not a Florida meal at all. That is a California meal.
And this is beautiful. This will be my favorite building in Central Florida.
You know, that's Donkey's not there because of this.
Okay. Not a fair trade, but at least they gave me a pretty pink building.
But yeah, that is opening later this summer, as they say. We've not heard any specific dates, but it's coming up together pretty quickly. And that announcement was, again, in the midst of all of this massive, here's stuff that's coming. And then, of course, the Jurassic Park tribute store, which will be out here. We're getting food and merchandise for Jurassic Park's 30th anniversary, just as Mike will be getting food and merchandise at Universal Hollywood for Jurassic's 30th anniversary. We just get a cool store that we get to walk through.
Cool. Well, thanks, Jeremiah, for that update. Mike, any show and tell this week?
Yeah, I do, actually.
All right, let's do it.
So I got some good news to end on here. And even though I was angry at Disney all weekend, I still gave them money.
They count on that.
They do. I wonder how angry they'd have to make me to get me to stop buying stuff. But we were at the parks on Saturday, and if you'll recall last week, I had purchased the Sith Wayfinder from Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquity, and it's a blind box. There are two different types. One is called the Bird Poop Edition, as my friend Nick Tears calls it.
Just call it the Jeremiah edition.
Speaking of bird poop, yes.
But if you listen to my podcast from 2 weeks ago, you'll hear him telling me how to find the one that I wanted to get it initially, which is the one that looks more like the prop does in the movie, and it's the darker black version So very happy to have both of these now, and they will sit on my shelf. But there you go. That's my show and tell for this week.
Hooray!
Thanks,
By
Mike.
the way, Mike, remember how I had that Jedi holocron and it would only make Sith noises?
Yeah.
I learned it's a reset. There's a reset. And so I reset it and now it makes Jedi sounds.
Very cool.
I
gotta play with these. So you know how this works is you can hold up the kyber crystal. I have a bunch of kyber crystals. So you hold it up and it has voices and stuff programmed in. I haven't even tried it yet, but
I can't wait.
yeah, I gotta try that out.
Hey, okay. I have a question for everybody. Should I don't think this has audio. Let's see. Do you like it? Should it have the seagull squawking or not squawking?
Yes.
I like
Squawking.
it. I like it.
Okay. I like how it's like all a sunny day. The seagull does like it's all cloudy.
Do we want to have it like actually drop some?
No, that's too much.
Speaking of, Doobie, are we going to adjust our opening at some point to include the wish?
No, we like it. It's fun.
Let me ask you a question of the assembled masses. Final question, quick answers. 25 years ago today, New Tomorrowland opened at Disneyland. Can you believe
That's
that?
tomorrow.
You thought wrong. 25 years ago today, New Tomorrowland opened. Don't go looking, Jeremiah. We're in the middle of a conversation. New Tomorrowland opened at Disneyland.
Woohoo!
So my question is simple. A, is Rocket Rods the worst attraction in the history of Disneyland? And B, if it is not, what is? Please take into account the scope of the attraction.
I know my answer. My answer is no, it is not a worst attraction. And I will point to Whispering Mr. Lincoln because I think that took a great attraction and added this little feature to it that made it lack the greatness that it had. I didn't think that enhancement improved the experience.
Doobie, taking in the scope of the attraction, you are correct. The fact that it ruined not one attraction, not two attractions, but three attractions for one attraction that lasted less time than the Galactic Star Cruiser, yes.
What's the third?
Well, People Mover, Circle Vision, and Astro Orbiter falls into all that.
Okay.
Or Rocket
All right. So you got one vote for Rocket Rods, one vote for Whispering Lincoln, which I believe was also a restaurant at Wilderness Lodge. Mike, do you have a vote?
No, definitely not the worst attraction. I would say the only reason people hate it is because it killed the People Mover. I've been on it. I went on it probably 4 or 5 times. And
that's a lie. Nobody went on it 4 or 5 times.
I did. That was like my freshman year in college. We lived in South Central LA and would drive down to Disneyland pretty frequently.
Time out. You lived in South Central LA?
Yeah, where USC is.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Mike. No wonder you're so tough. All right.
I as its own attraction really enjoyed Rocket Rods. It always had a long wait when it was running. But I will say, if I could flip a coin, that's not how this works. If I could make a wish and bring back People Mover instead, I would. But if Rocket Rods had worked and survived and was operating regularly, I think it would be very popular. I don't think people would have this hate for it.
See, I'm fine with the People Mover gone and dead. I would be happy if they tore it all down so we didn't have to worry about it. But Rocket Rods to me was the promise of this is going to be the coolest attraction ever. And then when I was on it for the, the big Mark and Brian party and we went, it's like, if they would have banked it and put the money
Mark and
in,
Brian. There's a blast from the past.
So, Mike, what is your worst attraction?
I was trying to come up with one that I genuinely, even Autopia is definitely at the bottom of my list somewhere, but I really like the track layout, the current track layout of Autopia. I just think the cars need to be electric instead of gas because the noise is just awful and the pollution and everything. But I don't know what. It's a tough choice.
I think Kyle, our editor here, he tossed into the chat because I brought this up to the team in our Slack. I think Kyle tossed in there maybe he would rank the Nemo, redo a sub lower than it. I was like, oh, that's intriguing.
I definitely don't ride that very often.
I have one.
I think it's more entertaining than the old subs.
Well, you're allowed to think that. Mine would be if you take the queue out of it. So if we're just talking about the attraction itself, not the queue, I think I'd have to go with Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run
As being lesser than rocket rods for you?
as being the bottom of the barrel at
Okay,
Disneyland.
no,
Disneyland
bottom of
Wow.
the barrel is
No.
still Superstar Limo. There is nothing worse.
That's not
Disneyland
at
Park. We're
Disneyland.
doing
We're
Disneyland
sticking
Park.
at
No.
Disneyland Park.
We're sticking inside that train berm.
There's a really good argument to be made about Smuggler's Run, especially the fact that, what is it, like 2/3 of the seats are undesirable.
See?
No,
Yes,
see,
Mike. High five, Mike. There we go.
I prefer engineer.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
because you can just punch the buttons out of your peripheral and still look at the screen, but still do your job with the peripheral. So it's perfect. You
What a
can
bad
interact, but
attraction.
yet not miss the fun on the big screen.
Mike, we still need to go and do Wookiee.
Wookiee mode, yeah. I'd be up for that.
Although,
Yeah, I was
you know,
wondering
I forgot Buzz Lightyear. Maybe Buzz Lightyear.
What about
No,
the
that's why I
Holodeck?
said you have. That's why I said you have to take scope into
Hold
account.
on,
It's
none of
not
us
trying to be
experience
anything.
all of chemistry, Kyle. So, I mean, if we're talking about that, we could talk about the bathrooms of tomorrow.
Oh well, no.
or-
You know what? Then it would be that thing that was at the exit of Rocket Rods. Didn't they have like some Mars mission to? I'm not mission to Mars, but like a Mars rover.
The
into
NASA
it?
experience
The
was.
NASA experience was cool.
It didn't.
I'm
last
talking
very
about
long.
the biggest delta between what it was trying to do and what it actually did.
Yeah, Rocket
Maybe
Rods.
Rocket Rods, but I'm gonna go with Smuggler's Run.
Really?
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that
Okay.
choice. The queue helps fix that because the queue is amazing. The lobby is amazing, so that helps it a lot. But that actual ride is just bad. And Mike Celestino agrees with me.
I don't ever do Smuggler's Run, so that shows you how much I love it.
I do it at least 3 times whenever it's at all possible. But because nobody will do it with me, I'm just single rider. And since I love being an engineer, it works perfectly for me.
That's
Like they
perfect for
built
you.
that ride for me.
Wait.
What kind of Star Wars ride does Rebecca want? Bing.
Yeah, I'm so happy for that.
Rockin' Space Mountain.
I never did Rockin' Space Mountain, so I
did it
can't
once.
say- Was it that bad?
It was
wasn't a fan.
really bad. It was Disco Space Mountain
Yeah.
with Red Hot Chili Peppers.
But it's still Space Mountain. How bad could it be?
It was old Space Mountain too, before they fixed the tracks and redid it all.
I don't remember being a fan.
Okay, folks. This has been a lot of fun. Always love the hour plus we get to spend together each week. Tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific, Barely Necessities, the Disney merchandise show with that lady right there and her good friend Becca Burbank. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, me and Becca Burbank's husband, see how that works? The husbands do a show, the wives do a show. We'll be doing the morning show, seeing what's going on in the world of Disney tomorrow. And of course, tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, we've got Disney Trivia Live. Check that out, please. Just a few kind of.
What do you need, Jeremiah?
Aren't we doing something during the day there, Doobie?
Oh, do we have a walk and talk tomorrow?
Yep.
11
11 a.m.
Which park?
Animal Kingdom.
And tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific, we're going to be at Animal Kingdom with myself and Jeremiah taking a prance around the park. Anything in particular we're going for tomorrow?
Just we haven't gone over there recently, I feel.
Prancing through the park.
We can always have
Jeremiah,
No.
bring your prancing pants. Bring your prancing pants. I want you to prance.
I'm not wearing pants tomorrow, but I'll bring my prancing shorts.
Bobson, we've got Bobson Dugnut here.
If you weren't here Saturday night, you missed out on the fun of
You,
Bobson.
you missed the fun one Saturday, Mike. I know you have a life, but you missed the fun one.
What was
All
I
right,
doing
folks.
Saturday?
You're at the park.
If you were at the fair,
Yeah.
I'm gonna laugh.
No, we were literally at Disneyland.
He was waiting for
Perhaps that's even more
Fantasmic to
fun.
start so he could video the dragon catching on fire.
By the
Said,
way,
I'm not going to the movies.
you guys had pointed out that the scaffolding was down off the treehouse, and it wasn't when I was there, so
Oh.
they put it back up.
Isn't that
Or
wild?
maybe I got fooled. You know, I feel like people are using
No.
ChatGPT.
My
What was down?
understanding is it was down and then
Okay.
it went back up. That's my understanding as an outsider based on tweets that I've seen from people in the parks over the past few weeks.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I hope that's true. I hope I wasn't fooled. Yeah. I agree. Based on tweets, I'm seeing the same thing. The scaffolding is back up after it had been down.
Which is interesting.
Cool. That
So
is
they're
very
changing
interesting.
the theme. The new theme will be based off of some show that has been removed from Disney Plus.
I like if you know, because it's a shorthand way of saying something that actually means something. And I know I'm not consistent at all, but yeah, I like IYKYK.
So are we gonna have like a?
Isn't that longer than saying if you know, you know?
But not for typing purposes, Jeremiah.
This is a list of like acronyms that you don't like.
Just internet things that I don't. There's a lot of internet things I don't, or even
Okay.
forget internet, real life things. Like it's been a minute. I hate that.
Oh no.
Oh, I
Hand
don't
heart.
like.
Hand hearts. I despise hand hearts. So many things I don't like. Is
But
everything
it's
okay,
so very unique.
hon? Okay, that's just wrong. No, it's a long. If my son were here, he would just rattle them all off because he loves to drive me crazy with them. But okay, we are actually done. Everybody,
Bye.
good. Going once, going twice.